What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and yep, I'm back from Florida. I had a lovely holiday. Thank you all for asking. Apologies, there was no debrief. I was travelling home, so you know. And if I'm being honest, I don't know how much I wanted to speak about that game. John's got a new setup. He's got a proper mic and everything, so we might have a slight technical issue with a little bit of squeaking coming from somewhere. So we do apologise if you hear that. Put in the comments if you do, and we'll try and get it rectified for the next video. So we're after a bit of help from you guys tonight. You know, you're part of the sound crew. Give us a sound update. John, do you want to do a check 1 2 1 2 for me?
1 2 testicles 1 2.
Brilliant, they're delightful, and he's still got a pair. Right, you was at Southampton. I'm not gonna go into Southampton too much, but in one word, can you sum up the Southampton performance for me?
Diabolical.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's a good word. And as we move into this game this weekend against West Ham, Everton statistically have had the easiest start of the season, statistically. But we've actually picked up less points than we did against the same teams in the same fixtures last season. So obviously we've got some concerns. We've got some tough games coming up. We really could do with beating West Ham. How confident are you of beating West Ham?
Well, I'm not very confident. I mean, I look at the performance against Fulham at home, and we were lucky to get a draw. And then we play a team who hasn't won in the league all season. We go there, and I know people are going to come back at me in the comments. Well, we created enough chances. It was touch and go if Beto was offside. We hit the bar. Listen, you don't pick 3 points up by ifs, buts, and maybes, or by hitting the bar, or goals getting ruled out by a millimetre. You pick 3 points up by putting the ball in the net. Now, we did create enough chances, granted, but we played against a manager who was under pressure. Our manager's under pressure. And we go against West Ham team this week. Lopetegui's under pressure as well, by all accounts. We didn't get nothing last week playing against a manager who's worrying about his job. I don't see us getting anything this week. And I'm going to be honest with you now, and I'm going to go straight into it. The reason why I don't see us getting anything is because of this manager that we've got. Consistently, week in, week out, he's picking players who aren't performing. And I know we've had injuries, but we've got a 70, 80, 90 million pound rated centre-half sitting on the bench who is not Premier League fit, apparently. Now, I'm not being funny. I said this the other day. When you look at some of the top clubs and their top players, we'll use an example, Virgil van Dijk. If he's out injured, do you think Slot or Klopp keep him on the bench for 2, 3, a month, 4 weeks? No, he doesn't. He brings his best players back into the team as soon as he can. This manager doesn't. We've spent 17, 18 million pounds on Jake O'Brien. We haven't seen him. Now, I'm not being funny. Jake O'Brien and Branthwaite must be sitting on that bench week in, week out, looking at them two centre-halves thinking, well, I probably should be playing before Tarkowski because I think he's being shocking. You've got Sean Dyche coming out saying they're not Premier League fit, they're not match fit, but yet admittedly, 2 weeks ago, he said that Tarkowski had been playing all season with an injury. So he needs to get his facts right. He needs to say to the supporters, you know, be honest with us. If Branthwaite is not match fit, be honest with us. Don't lie to us. He's laughing at us. This dinosaur of a manager is laughing at us. We all know he doesn't really rate Patterson, which in my opinion, he doesn't. But when you've got a left back who's been, in my opinion, on a par with Dominic Calvert-Lewin this season, and this isn't a Dig Mikalenko video out because I think he's improved under Dyche, but I think he's been shocking this season. Put Ashley Young at left back if you still want to carry on picking your mates, and put Patterson at right back. Coleman's being called up to the Ireland squad today. But yet Sean Dyche comes out at his press conference and says the reason why he hasn't been playing is because he's picked up another minor injury. But yet Ireland will pick him. Be honest with us. He's got his favourites, and this is why I give us no chance against the West Ham team, because we all know what's going to happen on Saturday with his team selection. He's picking Dominic Calvert-Lewin week in, week out. You've got Beto. Granted, he's not the most skillful player at the club. He's like Bambi on ice. We've called him on here before. But I tell you what he's got. He's got that. He's got heart. He'll come off that pitch with blood, sweat and tears on his shirt. He's done more in a couple of substitute appearances this season than what Calvert-Lewin's done all season. But he still sticks with the same players. And this is why we're in this predicament. This is why I don't give us any chance against West Ham on Saturday.
Yeah, your mic went funny there, John. I don't know whether you've got a loose connection. Might need to unconnect your phone, plug your phone back in, whatever you need to do. But yeah,
can you still hear me now?
Can now, yeah. So chipping in from what you've just said, I don't disagree with any of that. I think they're all fair comments. We've actually already had the conversation around players that we'd play, the midfield. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think you're absolutely spot on. I think the big issue that I have, and you're right, is he doesn't change it. He doesn't change it when we're losing. He doesn't even change it when we're winning. He doesn't do anything proactively. It all seems to be reactive. It never seems to be, I'm on the front foot. Let's go and win. Let's go and do something. Let's go and take the game to these. It's always sit back, hit him on the counter, get the ball to NGI, let Calvert-Lewin run through the channels and let Dwight McNeil try and score from 20 yards, and it was working at first this season. He scored 3 goals, he got 2 assists for Dwight McNeil, but he's gone off the boil. NGI, he always looks busy, always looks like he's going to be in the channels, getting in between players, causing problems, but then he's got literally no one on his wavelength in terms of technical ability. And then the right hand side, if I'm being honest, has been an absolute farce all season, if I'm being totally honest.
Mate, I think the right hand side of the pitch has been our weakest part of the team. And don't get me wrong, there's been a few left back, right back. I think down that right hand side completely has been the weakest part of our team, not just for this season, for quite a few seasons now. You mentioned McNeil, and listen, we've sat on here and we spoke about McNeil. You called him Mac Messi because of the role he was playing in, and some of the balls he was playing, and some of the goals he'd scored, and what have you. But you're quite right with what you say. He's gone off the ball. I would like to see Ndiaye in that hole, and maybe put McNeil back on the left just to see if that works. Because what we're doing, we were unbeaten in 5 before we went to Southampton, but we need to start picking up points, Michael, because that run that we've got coming in December is absolutely awful.
Yeah. Just a note on West Ham. As you say, Lopetegui's under pressure, so it's only right that we comment on him. One of the things that I wanted to also say is, I've spoken to a West Ham fan today. He's a friend of mine. I work with him, and I asked his opinion on the fan situation with Lopetegui. And equally David Moyes. And I get the impression that they are quite happy. I get the impression that they're quite happy with the change. They didn't want David Moyes anymore, so they're happy that they went and bought in a new man. I get that. But then on top of that, it does appear that they're unhappy with the change in Lopetegui. So it looks like Lopetegui's going to end up getting sacked. David Moyes wasn't the man that they wanted. So they're in a bit of a conundrum, West Ham, if I'm being honest. They're in a bit of a really difficult situation because they don't know where to turn. They'd have to pay a lot out for Lopetegui. They've just said bye to David Moyes, who'd done a decent job at West Ham for obvious reasons, won a trophy, all that stuff. They're in a really weird position, and I said, who's your most dangerous players? And do you know, last season or seasons before, they would have gone, it's Bowen, or it's Antonio, or it's Kudus, or Polini, whoever it is, Paqueta, sorry, whoever it is. But he sat there and he went, honestly, Mike, we're struggling that much at the minute. I couldn't pick a player. So we're going up against the West Ham side that have no confidence. And last season, We went into a West Ham game away from home. You were there. Calvert-Lewin scored. We won the game 2-1, I think it was, or 2-0. And
It was 1-0, wasn't it?
It might have been 1-0. And it started us off. The week before, I think we just lost in the derby, a game where Canate should have been sent off. And we were well in the game, even at 10 men. It could have been 0-0, but we lost. I just think we're going to West Ham, and the game is going to be awful. The football's going to be bad. The fans are going to get on the back of West Ham if Everton come into the game. The Everton fans may well get on Dyche's back if, the right players don't start or the substitutions aren't made quick enough. It's going to be an horrendous game of football. And that's why I think we might win.
Well, they've got Alvarez out. I think it's Alvarez. And they've also got Kudus out. He's suspended as well. Now, the way West Ham used to play, them players would really hurt you on the break because they did. Under David Moyes, they picked the ball up, but they just run at you, whether it be Bowen, whether it be Kudus. They get the ball to Antonio, dangerous players. And they've still got the majority of them players. But I don't think this manager's playing to them players' strengths and qualities now. Now, it is a bit by the by because obviously they've got Kudus and Alvarez out, but they've still got the likes of Bowen who can hurt you and players like that. But I'm not going there as worried that they're going to rip us a new one like I have done in seasons gone by. Even the game me and Frankie were at last season when we went there, every time they get the ball, they look to hit you on the break and get in behind you as quick as they can. Whether they even Kudus and Alvarez were playing this week, I don't think that's the way this manager sets up. So I don't think he's getting the best out of the players. There is an opportunity for Everton there to go and get at least a point. In my opinion, when you realise what players they've got out and the manager's not happy, and I'd actually go as far as saying he's on the verge of losing the dressing room already. I think the majority of the fans have had enough of him because you go from one extreme to another with West Ham watching the football you were watching to this. With the quality of players they've got, the manager's not using them players to their capacity. So I think that's another reason why when they're not getting the results, the fans are going to turn on the manager, which the manager always gets the blame. In our case, with Dyche, well deserved, in my opinion, because I don't think he uses our players to their full extent. If you see what I'm saying, I think he plays square pegs and round holes. So minimum, we should be going there to look for a point. But what frightens me, Michael, is we went down to Southampton and the way this manager set up, he went there looking for a point against the team who hadn't won in the Premier League. So it worries me what sort of team or what sort of tactics he's going to use against the team who we can sit here and say are better than Southampton, who can cut through you like a hot knife through butter if they play it the right way. So I don't know what we're going to get from this game. I really, really don't. But if he sets up like he did against Fulham, and if he sets up like he did against Southampton, then we get nothing. I think if West Ham carry on the trend that they're going through with Lopetegui, then I think we'd be lucky to get a point.
I don't disagree with any of that. So in terms of your team then, John, because you've probably given a little insight into your team. So I'll go with my team, which is, fair enough. And this is obviously based on what's been said. So, I'll go Pickford in goal, obvious reasons. I'll keep Ashley Young at right back. My two centre-halves is Branthwaite and Michael Keane. And I'll go with Mikalenko at left back. On the two in the middle, as long as they're both fit, able, no issues, I'll bring Gala and Mangala into the Lagisa Ghana guy and Mangala into the two in midfield, into the middle. And then the front four almost speak for itself, apart from I put in Beto rather than Calvert-Lewin. So that's NGI, McNeil, and Harrison. I think is better than Lindstrom, albeit I think I'm not sold on Lindstrom, and I've never been sold on Harrison. So for me, Beto starts this game. Branthwaite comes back into this team and starts over Tarkowski because I think he's been awful. I think Michael Keane has offered more goal threat. I think he's more capable, and I just don't think he's let us down as much as Tarkowski has this season. I would literally have no problem if any of the players in that team come in or out or do whatever, shake it all about. I couldn't care less. The biggest thing for me is I really believe we have to get 3 points, because the run we've got coming up and the fixtures we've lost at home or draws at home, this 1-1 draw with Fulham, the defeat at home to Bournemouth, the start of the season being sluggish as always, really, really poor, conceded lots of goals, not good enough. For me, it has to be addressed. We have to win this game. And I know there'll be fans that are saying, Mike, you're putting a lot of pressure on a game that's 10 games into a season. But I do not see us winning the game in December. I do not see us winning the game in December. And that loss of form is going to go into January, and that worries me. So, in my opinion, we've got to win. We've got to win.
Roughly the same team. I do go with Branthwaite and Keane in the middle. A lot of people will probably disagree because a lot of people can't see past Tarkowski in place of Keane, but I disagree with them people. I did have Coleman at right back and Young at left back until it come out today that he's picked a minor injury up. So obviously we do have to stick with Ashley Young at right back and Mykolenko, but I would have took Mykolenko out. I wouldn't have had no problem with that. Instead of Harrison, I play Lindstrom. I just think Harrison's a championship player. I think he's shit. And I go with Beto. I actually think he offers us more. I think he comes out and looks for the ball more. He'll chase the defenders down. He'll chase the opposition down to win the ball off them. You don't get that with this fraud of a number 9 who's embarrasses me to say he wears our number 9. That's what he is. He's a fraud. We know he's going to go. He sulks. He walks straight off the pitch. I think it was against Ipswich. Him and Sean Dyche are massive, massive frauds, in my opinion. And if I'd never seen Calvert-Lewin in an Everton shirt again, mate, it wouldn't bother me. It really wouldn't bother me. I play Beto. I think he offers more. I think he is actually more of a goal threat because he puts himself about. As I say, he's not the easiest footballer on the eye. But I tell you what, he'll try his hardest for that blue shirt, mate. And that's all we can ask for, more than the current number 9.
Yeah, and equally, John, you're not particularly easy on the eye, but you're as passionate Evertonian as I know, my friend. So don't you worry about that. But yeah, you're spot on. Beto, last 2 weeks, he's come on. Last week, he scores a goal that's offside by millimetres, albeit we haven't seen where the goalkeeper's standing, kicking the ball. So let's be honest. We've all just seen the line, and it's very debatable. I don't know when Pickford kicked the ball, so I'm still struggling with that one. In my opinion, the Southampton defender should have got sent off. If the other lad from the other game was at Arsenal, if he got sent off, then he should have been sent off. In my opinion, whether you agree or disagree, I don't care, to be honest. I just think he should have been sent off. And equally, he had a header absolutely rattle off the bar, and the rest of the team fell to pieces. So, for me, Beto starts, and we do exactly what he did when he stood up that Southampton defender and almost got him sent off. So, yeah, I think Everton. I think Everton can win this game. I just don't know if they will win this game. Score prediction: I am going Everton 2, West Ham 1.
1-1.
And that is a pleasure. For anyone going to the game, make sure you take your binoculars or them little theatre glasses that have got the little pen that you hold, so you can see the pitch from your seat, because it's so far back, you're in a different postcode. So make sure you are with those glasses. Make sure that before you go, you hit the like and subscribe. Make sure you comment if you've heard John's microphone whistling gently in the background of this video, and the odd occasional moment where it's huffled and scratchy noises and it's been painful on the ears, because I bought that microphone and I sent it to John. So if it's a shit mic, we need to know, because I need to buy him another one. Make sure that you continue to watch Blue Boys Network. Just watch all of the videos we've ever created Just now. Just binge watch us. Tell you what, forget
Take a day
Netflix.
off. Take a day off tomorrow and stay off till Monday.
Just get yourself in bed, everyone. Just get yourself in bed. Watch the Blue Boys Network over and over again, and you will thoroughly enjoy yourself. I've come back from Florida. I must say, positive mindset, determined to succeed. Everton's on the up and up under Friedkin when he comes in, because at the minute they're sinking. So yeah, we're all good. Oh, and the last thing I just wanted to comment on, John, it's really important that I comment on this, and I don't tell you enough, but you are by far the best co-host in the world, because every single time you come on a video, you manage to fucking break something, and I love that. I love it so much. So
Why wasn't broke now?
Well, the fucking mic's whistling in my ear. It's like Tweety Pie in my fucking ears.
I think it's because I was moving it before. That's probably the muffling.
Well, yeah, well, I don't know what you've done. But anyway, all the subscribers and the passionate networkers that have followed Blue Boys Network since the Network Michael D days, you make sure you get in them comments and you stick as many pelters in about John as you can in those comments. You can call him Wafflehead or whatever you want. He needs a haircut, shave, you name it. Go for it. Up the toffees. John, anything to end with there?
No, just thanks.
Right, and we'll see you all soon. Peace.